Hi, my name's Karen E. Wells and welcome to Module 2 of this professional NLP certification course. So, as I've said before, it's really important that you do download or print off the training manual so that you can work with me alongside these video modules. So, once you've done that, you've obviously done Module 1, you've listened to the introduction. Let's move now on to Module 2, which is all about directing your life. So this course is aimed at if you want to become an NLP practitioner, so you can use the techniques on clients, or purely if you want to use it on yourself. So directing your life. This module is all about yourself or the client knowing that you are fully in control of your life. It might not feel like that at times, but you really are, because it's depending on how you handle it emotionally, how you react to your thoughts and feelings. So we're going to be looking at that as we move through this course. We're also looking at the conscious and the subconscious mind in this module as well as looking at the three parts of the mind, the brain, through evolution. This video module is going to turn now into some slides to further enhance your learning, and you'll see me again right at the end of this module. Enjoy the rest of it. So if we look at in this module, directing your life or your client's life, who's in charge of yours or their life really? Perhaps the client feels that they're at the mercy of fate, but the good news is, as I said before, you are in control of your life. And that's a fundamental thing for yourself and for your client to really start to believe and take on board. So we've mentioned before that thoughts and feelings can have a direct impact on your health and well-being. So you have to consider any negativity that yourself or your client can do to the body, to the mind, and just imagine what damage that can cause. So if we look at the unconscious mind, that is a very powerful tool, and it's about 90% of the actual mind itself. You might think that you make conscious decisions, but often the outcome is totally different and can come from something that's within the subconscious. So let's just break that down a little bit. If you're using your conscious mind, you're aware of everything around you at that moment. Think of the conscious mind as being that tip of the iceberg, where the subconscious mind or the unconscious mind, it's the same thing, forms the largest part of the iceberg, and that's the part which is submerged underwater. So the subconscious or the unconscious is 90% of the mind, and the conscious mind is only 10%. So if somebody had suffered a difficult or a hurtful romantic breakup and maybe stated to themselves that they didn't want to be alone, the subconscious mind is unable to focus on the negative aspects of that sentence, i.e. they don't want to be. And so instead the focus just becomes on the main word in that sentence that's been said to the self, which is alone. That then translates as a goal. So even though actually somebody doesn't want to be alone, it's almost that the subconscious is running that program. So you can start to see how the outcomes of things can be related back to things that programs, promises that the client has made for themselves. We'll start to look at this more as we move further into the course. But if we now look at the three stages of the brain within the human evolution. First of all, there's the reptilian brain, which is the integral part of the brain that existed at birth and would continue if the brain would ever become damaged. So it keeps all of the necessary reflexes ticking over for survival. You then have the limbic brain, which oversees the emotional responses. This part of the brain is known as the instinctive emotional element. The third part is the cognitive brain, which forms part of the brain at the front. So it oversees all of the planning and decision making, including relationships or risk assessments. This is known as the intelligent part, and utilises all of the other parts of the brain as a whole. So practitioners of NLP have long believed that it is not possible, as has been said previously, that it's not possible to not change the hardwire of the brain. It absolutely is. This has been shown in NLP, it's been shown in hypnotherapy, that the hard drive of the brain can be rewired. New things can be put to the brain to make new courses of actions. And that's exactly what you're going to do, either with yourself or with your clients, as we move forward on this NLP course. So that really brings together the end of Module 2. There's some self-assessment questions at the end of this module and on every Module 2. So really take some time just to read through those and make sure that your learning is up to speed with everything that we've gone through within the training manual and the video modules. And I'm going to look forward to seeing you on Module 3. Have a great day.